But anyways, here we are spotting the upper right in the red as I'm going to get this started now because they do it real fast. In the red, he is Innovation. Wow, I got it before the Observer did this time, and that is... What? What is this? How slow is this?
Late. I think they were late. And then the bottom left is your blue Terran. His name is Dream. Ah! They stick me with the fast one. What is this?
You're welcome. Oh man, I was doing this yesterday too with Steadfast. We were just like, oh god, this is just not going to work, right? The WTL, they're slightly inconsistent with their intro timings, but it's also really damn fast.
Yeah, they definitely are setting a standard there for their casters, and you're never ready for it.
Nope, you're absolutely not. But you know what, FireBird, I think the name of the game here for this TVT is I'm just gonna sit here and just make inane comments and bad jokes and let you do everything, because you know you of course play Terran. I just watch a bunch of Terran stuff. So, what do you think here? It's a 2-gas opening from Innovation, single gas from Dream, which notionally, right, there's that at least as far as I'm aware, there's that kind of carousel of TVT builds. You know, the Reaper expand is better than the gas first is better than the proxy Reaper is better than the Reaper expand.
Yeah, it really all depends on what build you choose compared to your opponent. I think in this case where you have the double gas from Innovation and the single from Dream, I don't think it's going to make a massive difference. Of course, Innovation, he is going to be having that faster factory, but as long as Dream defends well, and because Oxide is such a big map, it actually doesn't put you terribly far behind if you only have one gas. You're going to have the faster expand, and by the time that at the time Innovation's units will get across the map, he will have enough defense up that if he doesn't just completely botch the micro or doesn't have his defense in position, he should be able to hold.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you talk about Oxide as being such a big map. As a Zerg player, I can tell you this is not a big map. Certainly not when we're talking about a like Terran rally push. You're like, this is not a big map. They're getting here so fast. There's a reason that Rainer was saying like this is the worst map in the pool for ZVT. Well, last season, Beckett wasn't a thing. But of the maps that regularly get on through, this is the worst map in the pool for ZVT. The rally pushes are so damn strong. Third to third is just so close. So, it's interesting to hear a Terran's perspective here because this map is not big. Nothing whatsoever.
I think the way that I definitely look at it is the rush distance is of course very short, which is why I think Terrans favor this map. But the other side of the coin is it's very wide, and what I mean big is there's a lot of ground to cover horizontally if you're getting into a macro game. There's a lot of places to spread your army. There's a lot of chances for multi-pronged harassment. And because, of course, the bases are closer, it makes it so that the games are much more fast-paced when you're in that stage. So it's kind of a combination of being, a large map with a short rush distance, and that does create some very, very interesting what's the word? It does create an interesting balance to it. But as it is so far, as we can see, the gas openings haven't really had much of an impact. You just have that 2-worker lead for Dream, who has the faster expansion and orbital. So he will be getting his mules out quicker, which is, of course, always nice, as the Hellion will catch this Reaper. And the tech is coming up around the same time as well. You see Innovation only just now started, or is about to finish up his first Starport unit, and, well, Dreams was also right on time.
Yeah, Innovation, of course, does have that minor extant tech lead, right? He does have those 2 Reapers. He does have that Hellion, but I mean, there are a lot of Marines here. No, actually, though, Innovation, he will be able to get a little bit aggressive here, right? He does have that 2 army supply lead, but his... no, he doesn't have it. He doesn't even have a tank lead. But I love this position here from Dream, as he has that Hellion circling, or excuse me, that Viking circling. Say, yeah, that position that Innovation may want to take, right, where you go and you kind of siege up on the low ground to the high ground. Yeah, Innovation's just going to go home with it. He's like, okay, this is not going to work out. Not yet. The Viking there is going to just shoo away everything. And that does mean that Innovation will, again, as you said, be able to take no benefit from this piece of aggression, this earlier, more aggressive opening that he did decide to go for.
Yeah, I mean, Dream again, he's very, very comfortable in this map. We saw that when he played in GSL versus Cure. They played an extremely long TVT, but he managed to come out, I believe. I don't actually know if he won that map, but played extremely close. And yeah, he's making all the right moves right now. You have Innovation, who has gone for the more tech, and he's still getting behind at every step. It's not giving him an advantage. You have a third base already on the way. For Dream, of course, Innovation will get his on site, so the timing difference won't be too terrible. And for Innovation, he is rallying his units together. He's going to try and see what kind of a push he can kind of scrap out of the tanks that he has, as well as, the Reapers, the Hellions, and then the Medevac as well, which is, I believe, still sitting in that top corner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you talk about this, just kind of scrap everything together for a push. I like to call this the kitchen sink build. Whether that is or not, it's a different story. But it's something that Clem really loves to do. He moves out at like 5 minutes, and he's like, I got a Cyclone, I got 10 Marines, I got a tank, and I got like 2 Hellions, and let me go kill you with it. Which is a very Clem thing. It's kind of crazy to see that happen here. But look at this. If there's ever going to be a time that Innovation is going to be able to move on out here, this will be the one. That's what that was for. Okay. Never mind. But yeah, anyway, so Innovation, of course, he's like, well, you're trying, or I should say Dream's like, oh yeah, you still have your Reapers here. I have vision of that. Let me go siege some stuff up.
Oh.
Nice scout there from Dream. He's going to say, okay, that is a decent amount of army there from Innovation. Let me make sure I know what's up there in the line of sight blocker, but he will scan that out. And now he will be able to take a more aggressive position. And Dream, because, oh, there's the drop. Anyway, Dream, because he has been able to mine more over the course of this game, he's had a slightly more defensive, a slightly more greedy opening. He does find himself with a minor worker lead and what was a minor army lead. But of course, now with this drop coming on in, well, this is going to get cleaned up really easily with the auto turret and with, of course, the disable. That being said, the 6 SCVs will go on down despite that. And Innovation's now going to find himself a nice spot on into the natural, potentially.
Yeah, it does have the advantage on the Raven energy there because one interference matrix was already used, plus a few turrets. And Dream now seeing the tanks. But yeah, that drop was definitely that oh no anyways moment for Dream. Is like, oh no, okay, I can clean this up actually. Never mind. This is not an issue. But Dream also here has a higher Viking count. So once again, he just looks at this and says, well, I kind of just fight back your Vikings. My tanks are in a good spot and you can't get anything done. And we're pretty even economically. Innovation has reclaimed the worker lead because he did get that his third base on site as actually Dream is just going to chase this down. Full confidence in his army. Anti-armor missile on all of it. Dream looking to just steamroll it. All the Marines die though. Ooh, yeah. I mean, the missile turrets there were good, and you could see just the more energy on the Ravens making a difference there for Innovation as he was able to get down the turrets. But as this is, the Vikings should still be cleaned up for Innovation. And so he's not going to be able to keep pushing this. And actually has 2 more. So some Innovation managing to get a lot of damage done with this and get himself into a decent spot.
Yeah, how in the world did we go from a Viking deficit to a Viking lead for Innovation there? That's kind of spooky. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a perennial air lead at this point as, well, the starport will be forced to lift here. Things are going to go kind of burn, at least for the time being. But look at this. Dream setting himself up for a rather big surround here. But there are 4 tanks staged up, right? That's more than one Raven can really deal with. But now with the air lead on in, and these tanks are going to siege on up. A decent amount of the bio at the very least is going to go on down. The bio and the high ground trying to take the fight, but that is just everything dying. Oh no.
Oh my. That hurts as Dream was in such a good position, but is now just bleeding out units left and right. Innovation has gotten into the spot that he wants to be. He's gotten into this little wedge at the bottom of the base, and he's just been trading so well. Dream, I mean, he's not dead, but that army supply difference is absolutely massive.
Yeah, but, he's not dead, but if we're playing Hangman here, he's like, 2 body parts away. He's DEA, and we're waiting on the second D. That being said, he does have an upgrade lead for the time being, but that gap is going to close. Innovation's faster into his armory. So even then, the bio upgrade lead that that Dream is maybe going to rely on, well, won't really be able to rely on that anymore. And now the Vikings are going to land, and they're going to, okay. Let's go. We're going to go break the tank. No, you're not going to break the tank, Innovation. It's just not going to be a thing. That being said, of course, we do have 2-2 now on the way here for Innovation. It will be faster. Innovation rocking a 30 supply lead. Now, we all know this is TVT, so army supply leads maybe not as important as they otherwise would be, but the tank leads are. And Dream has lost a decent amount of tanks in this game. And it looks Dream will finally take the Viking lead, so he will be able to dislodge this at the end of the day. Most of those tanks are relatively low, but now there's not a lot of defense here on the right-hand side here for Dream, and this is where we do start to see that army supply lead really come to fruition. Innovation can fight with 2 armies, but look at that. Oh, with those armor shredders, these tanks actually are going to be able to take a fairly decent fight with the bio as well, because it's not like there was a supply lead or an upgrade lead here. It's even, and that's effectively -1, I want to say, upgrade with the armor shredders. So at the end of the day, going to be fairly nice there for Dream. And it will prevent Innovation from pushing on in, and he's able to break back Innovation from that chokehold there on the left-hand side. Of course, that's not the true story of this game now. The true story is the fact that Innovation's at 5 SCVs, but he has his 4th base done on location. It's already a planetary, and he's mining fully from it.
Yeah, it's a rough spot for Dream. It's all about holding on now. And it's just scary, because if this was Maru in this situation, this is a situation where you say, oh, well, Maru can obviously win. Because even when Maru's behind in these TVTs, he's so good at playing back. But Dream, I don't know. It's all about how he handles these engages, because Innovation's army is so massive. It's a 30 army supply lead. And again, more tanks, more bio. Dream needs to take the engagement of a lifetime in order just to clear up the army, and then he's still going to be behind economically.
Yeah, I would love to see the actual tank counts here. I would love to see the unit stat, because, you know, one of the truisms of TVT, right, is, well, you know what, honestly, as long as I have enough to... Ooh, he's going to drop a... No, he's not. Innovation will react in time. One of the truisms of TVT, right, is as long as you have an equal or even superior tank count compared to your opponent, it doesn't really matter how much bio they have. I mean, that's not totally true here, but Innovation's going to catch him unsieged. It looks like, though, with the armor shredder missile here, the tanks are going to get sieged up in time. Most of the bio's going to go on down. Well, that last tank behind, no, it's just going to be slightly too much. You're right.
Too much.
Here I am trying to make it sound like there's a chance, but there was no chance here whatsoever. Innovation's going to break Dream, and, well, Innovation, one step on the path towards equality. In the red, but also the blue somehow. What in the world's up with this overlay? He is Innovation. There we go. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and in the bottom right, it's your blue Terran from GGG. His name is Dream. Hey, they heard our requests. They made it slower.
Just this once. I wonder whether the foreign commentators have been getting that about. They're like, hey, you know, Awardy's going on in there. He's like, hey, can you give me a little bit more time to do player intros, please? I don't know.
He's like, listen, I got to talk about my crumpets and my cheesecake recipes. You know, I can't rush it.
Hey, don't denigrate crumpets. I don't know if you've ever had tea and crumpets, but like it's actually a rather solid thing, as long as they're good. You know, I mean, bad crumpets, who cares? But it's like scones, right? You know, the scones and clotted cream. What we have over here in the United States is not good. It's not equivalent.
What do you mean? We got McDonald's. Woo!
McDonald's in other countries is better. Like, you know, British McDonald's isn't actually, like, terrible. You know, up in Maine, McDonald's location... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, McDonald's lobster rolls. How do you feel about that?
I'll be honest. Despite living in Maine, I am not the biggest fan of fish food.
You hurt me, my friend. One of the reasons I was so excited to move back to the East Coast and move somewhat near a coast, not, you know, Ohio or something, was the fact that I could get ready and easy access to seafood, because that's not something you get out in Arizona. So I was very excited about this prospect, and now I'm being told that, you know, someone who has been able to have the benefit of it continuously for their entire life is like, yeah, I don't really like lobster. I don't really like you know, any bit of seafood. It's like okay, but you know,
I like sushi. Sushi's great, but
hey,
other than that,
don't eat the team owner, man. Like, maybe we don't get these opportunities.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's actually funny that you mentioned Ohio, because I might be going up there for college. So.
Oh, the Ohio State that lost. Oh, look at that. This is pretty cool. So, Dream's gonna win the Reaper fight because Innovation got trapped in the slow zone. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, again, this map, a lot of things to work out with it, and those are some interactions that we haven't seen before. But the slow zone, yeah, it does affect those Reaper trades if you're not pathing it correctly. And Dream just means that he'll have a bit more map control. Of course, he once again went with the gas first, so or the one gas opening, so he doesn't have like the Hellions for the follow-up. But it just means that, hey, he can actually move this Reaper in. He can scout out and see what Innovation is going for, and know for sure that this was a double gas, that the factory came down, and you know that the tech for Innovation will just be a little bit faster, but then also his expansion is much quicker.
Yeah, imagine how good that would have been for Dream if it was, truly a gas first or a double gas opening, right? You get the Reaper kill and you're like, okay, Innovation, you're dead now. Which is such a weird thing. You're like, oh yeah, it's one Reaper. What difference can it make? But it absolutely does make that difference when we do have those gas first openings. Now, Innovation, you're gonna say, okay, you have your natural done. That tells me what you built. That's fine. And actually, it looks like Dream is gonna go on in there and he's gonna block the Reaper Cliff. At the very least, he's gonna give himself some vision on that. Now, this Hellion will get one SCV. So hey, it's damage. At the end of the day, though, Dream will continue to have that worker lead as he has two orbitals that he can build off of. But here we are. Cycle on the way here for Dream is he just wants to, again, the whole point of the opening with this Reaper expand is making sure that you don't die, and he's doing a pretty good job of that thus far.
Yeah, this is the exact same scenario that we saw in the last game. Innovation getting out that earlier tank, as Dream actually manages to get the Hellion and pull on out. A nice catch there for him, and we see once again 4 Marines and a tank loaded up into the medevac. Innovation really being a fan of this build, and Dream, I don't think he's actually in position for it this time. He actually.
You were saying. You were saying there.
Wow.
Oh, he's gonna get the slow zone. Oh, never mind. Okay. Innovation got in the slow zone. I'm like, oh god, cycle and lock on there. That's gonna be so bad there for Innovation, but it wasn't. And now the tank will get that. Oh, Innovation's even gonna save the Marine. But now we have the tank siege up. That being said, though, the gap here is a slight. No, okay, never mind. It can still hit the barracks.
Yeah, just barely, but it should be able to be cleaned up. You can't just sit there. So Innovation won't get much damage done. I was gonna say that Dream had foregone the Viking, just because I don't think it's necessary on this map with the double slow zones across that airspace. You really don't need it. You're not going to have any trouble dealing with a quick, air attack from any units. So it didn't end up hurting him that happened. The Cyclone almost even got the kill. And now actually Dream, he's just rallying across the map here. I'm not sure what that was. He pulls back now as I guess he has second thoughts. But, I mean, doesn't take any damage there. Still has the worker lead and now has a much quicker third base than his opponent. Innovation went for the same push, went for the same timing. And Dream answers it in the same way. But this time Innovation, doesn't even have that third base coming down on location yet.
This is true. Now, FireBird, did you ever watch the original, the 1970s Dr. Dolittle growing up?
I did not.
Okay, well, anyways, this map Blackburn here, I think it's named incorrectly. This map is really the push me pull you. Is the so of course in the original Dr. Dolittle, right? There is this there's this double-headed llama. That has a head on both sides, right? So it looks forward and backwards. It's called the push me pull you, right? You push one way, it pulls the other. And that really is what this map is okay, Dream is going to take a position up into the slow zones. And I don't know how much I like that with those tanks, but this is the fun part of this map, right? From a TVT perspective. It is so hard to get through the slow zones and to get through this center map choke that we honestly, Dream going as greedy as he is on this map, I really like it, right? It does mean that he's really going to be able to get that pretty much unfettered. I mean, yes, Innovation can run around the top side of the map and do all that, but the tanks are going to go through the slow zone. Actually, they're going to be in the slow zone here, but Cyclone is going to go down, and that's not going to be a whole lot. But it does look like, for the moment, Dream does have the air superiority advantage. And that is, in fact, something that's going to be rather nice. Oh, that is a bit of a choke there for the Marines to filter through.
Yeah, 2 Vikings did come out, though, for Innovation, making sure to keep on top of that production, so he's not going to be too far behind. And at the same time, Dream, only just now floating out his third. He did delay it a little bit while he was trying to position here around the middle of the map. And I would like to see either of these players really break open the rocks, because especially with TVT, I feel like if you can get those rocks open and just have that extra avenue to position, it's going to be so good for their chance on the offense. And we actually see 2 separate third base positions here. Innovation going with the forward base. And I think I like it as well, because it just forces you to move up your defensive line naturally, because you're taking that base. So you're just going to be closer to your opponent, and it's going to be harder for them to push without you seeing.
Ooh, also the Vikings here are going to take a superior advantage, or a superior engagement here for Innovation. And when both players are going for Vikings, one Raven's going to get taken down. That is very nice there. So this does now give Innovation, well, or I should say it gives Dream license to break Innovation just a little bit. But the Viking war, of course, being won by Innovation at this point, I do believe, it's 2 Vikings to 6. So that does mean that, again, it's going to be all on scans here for Dream. Luckily for Dream, he does have his orbital just a little bit. Actually, no, I think Innovation does have his orbital by now. But look at this. Now we got the big tank siege up zones, but it's only one Raven versus 2. So as soon as Innovation does try to break this just a little bit, look how slow those Vikings are. As soon as Innovation does try to break this with the Ravens, well, he's going to find himself with a energy disadvantage, and it's going to be better here for Dream than it will be for Innovation. That being said, air superiority is a powerful thing. Oh, this is cool. Innovation, he's just going to camp the starport for a little bit.
Oh, no, does get out the interference matrices in time. The Ravens were pushed up for Dream to try and counter the other position. So the trade, it's rough. Did take a few shots while he was moving up, and is still going to get shelled here a little bit. But we're seeing that that dance, the unsiege and siege, the scans being shot down either way. And as it is right now, Dream again still full energy on these 2 Ravens, can just win the engagement if they're not just targeted by the Vikings.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. We did see Dream here. He moved his Ravens around to the top side, right? He's going to look for the Raven flank should this happen, because he understands at this point he's not winning the air fight. That's just not going to... Maybe if he drops a second starboard, he'll be able to sneak it in and win. But he's realizing that, okay, my time with an air fleet, it's gone in this game. I'm going to go into medevacs, make my army a little bit more survivable maybe. But certainly, it's not going to be able to do much more than that. Oh, the Raven flank's coming on in. The Vikings, they're not paying attention. 1, 2, 3. Dream is going to get a fantastic engagement here, stimming on top of everything. Oh. All the tanks here from Innovation are going to go down. And what a damn good engagement there from Dream. It's a 20 supply lead.
Yeah, that's the Raven difference. Even if you don't have the air superiority, you can just shut down the tanks. You can push through, and the superior army count that's just active from that for Dream means that he is able to crush that position. He can go back into his worker production, which he did cut for a while there, and he can start focusing on his upgrades. You can see there, the 2-2 this time, equal for both of these players at the exact same timing. As Dream's going to look for some multi-prong here. That's 4 medevacs loaded up. And then he also has the army moving around the top of the map, trying to distract Innovation, and I don't think Innovation knows. He's pulling his Vikings away.
He most certainly does not. Dream, though, there we go. Now he's going to go on in here. Innovation trying to react to this big army that... Well, what appears to be a big army here that Dream has on the map. It's showing on the sensor tower. Innovation doesn't have the best idea. But now 4 medevacs and 3 Vikings going to come boosting on in. 2 tanks as well. The Doom Drop coming on in. And of course, we talk about truisms in TVT. FireBird, the biggest one. You camp the production. You win the game. It does not matter how much income your opponent does have. So Innovation will be forced to deal with this. And we're starting to see the production get camped here. There are no Vikings, by the way. Liberators are getting targeted down. Is it going to go? It will not. The tanks are going to stand strong. And yes, will this get cleaned up eventually? Maybe. Actually, I'm not even sure. The Vikings are going to land. There we go. That is eventually going to get cleaned on up.
Damage.
Yeah. This is 19 SCVs. This is so much army for Innovation going down. His buildings are on fire. And what a move there from Dream.
Yeah, I mean, you saw actually the 2 Vikings that Dream had. It was a lower Viking count. But he just targeted down the Liberators. That's an aggressive stim forward, but he gets the tank sieged. And I don't know if that was it, Chief. Dream being a bit aggressive there, trying to get on top of the tanks, but he's still going to trade well because he just has the better position. GG is called 1-1 in that set of 2.